Mission Mentors. Come on, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing today? We're good? We're good? Come on, give me a little bit more. I need some more energy. How are we doing? All right, there we go, there we go. Someone had breakfast this morning, all right. All right, this is so wonderful. I am so incredibly happy to be here today. I just want to say welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Joel Reed. I am the executive director here at SoundCheck Youth Arts. Is everyone enjoying themselves so far? All right, there we go. We've got some wonderful things in store. We just want to welcome you to our Instrumental Health Day. Turn to somebody and say, welcome to Instrumental Health Day. Come on. So I just want to see by a showing of hands, all right? Just by a showing of hands, If you are really excited to be here, can I just see a raise of hands? All right, all right. Did everybody sign in today before coming in? There is going to be a wonderful giveaway coming up, so stay tuned. We've got some amazing performances. We're going to be having some wonderful conversations about the importance of mental health in our community. Does anyone know that mental health is actually a real issue in our community? Something we've got to talk a lot more about. And so we're just here to welcome you and just say thank you all for coming. Just right before I came up, you were all listening to our wonderful musician mentors. So if this is your first time here at SoundCheck, can I just see a quick raise of hand? First time? All right, so I'll tell you really quick in 30 seconds who we are and what we do. We are a nonprofit organization. We started in 2013. I can't believe it. We're almost 10 years old. And what we do is we offer music and mentorship programs. One of the things that's really amazing about what we do, all of our programs, 99.9% of our programs are absolutely free. And so we teach keyboards, drums, guitar, and bass. But beyond that, SoundCheck is an idea, it's a concept, it's something that we use to teach life skills. If anyone knows, and I know I see there's a lot of musicians in the room, sound checking, right? You saw us kind of working it out today. Wanted to make sure the sound was right. Why? Because we're broadcasting and we want to make sure it sounds all right. And so the idea is just like how you would prepare for a performance, prepare for, anything that you have coming up as a musician, guess what? That's actually a model for learning life skills. And so whether or not that's preparing for the job, preparing for the big interview, whatever the case may be, at SoundCheck, it's all about teaching preparation. So I'm just excited to be here. We're joining on our Instrumental Health Day event. I just want to quickly introduce some members of my team. I know they're all over. They're working tirelessly, day in and day out. First of all, I'll shout out just quickly to my right here. I see Brother Brian Allen, who's here holding it down for us on organ and sounding great. All right. We also have to my left Adam Favors, long-standing. He's an OG. He's just an OG. He's just been around from one of our day ones. I don't see Josh, but I know he's here. Oh, he's right at the back. I want to introduce everybody to Joshua Service, wonderful bass instructor that's here. Oh, I saw my beautiful wife, who is our director of operations. Is that her? Okay, she's coming in. Don't worry, she's getting food and all kinds of running around and good stuff, but we'll be able to introduce some more members. I also see Shiloh. Hey, wave to everyone at the back. One of our members of our marketing team. I also see, Catherine's here as well, another member of our team, our marketing and fundraising team. And last but not least, I think he's hiding there in the back room. We've got, now everybody can't see you now, Devontae. Well, we've got Devontae, who's in our drum booth, sounding pretty good in there, huh? All right. So anyway, without any further ado, I know we just want to jump right in and get things started. So what we're going to do first and foremost is we are going to make sure that we can call up our first performer of the day. So you're going to be hearing some wonderful performers from some of the youth that have been part of our program. So I can't wait. We've got some great things in store. So first up, everyone remember our theme, Instrumental Health. It's a really important topic. We're going to be diving deep into some conversations. We've got some great panelists coming up. But just to get things started, I'm so happy to welcome T, that's going to be coming up. She's been a long-standing, another SoundCheck OG, and she's just going to share a short poem that she has prepared for us on today. How's that sound? All right, so give her a warm welcome. I promise if you clap, she will speak.
Hi, everyone. I'm T. I've been with SoundCheck for, since 2019. I like it here. It's like another family that's music-oriented, so I really like this program, the group in general. So for all those who know me, I'm pretty much most of the time always smiling. But, sometimes people have mental battles behind the scenes. This poem I'm going to share with you guys today is a heavy one. I wrote it a month I wrote it a month after a friend of mine was killed. So, I hope that, y'all get a sense of my mindset. It wasn't a good one, but I think this one is gonna show that and highlight that a lot of people with mental health issues are going through these things behind the scenes and they don't want to tell anyone. So, yeah. This one's called Don't Worry. Don't you worry about me, I'll be gone in a week. Don't worry where I'll be, doomed to hell 'cause I'm weak. Don't you worry, my dear, I'll be dead in a year. I've been living in fear, running so I'm not here. Don't you worry about me, don't you wonder what took me. Don't you wonder, there are things no one knows. I'm guilty, a victim's foe, a victim of evil, the product of people's faults. I'm doomed, so don't worry about me, don't you wonder. Don't you worry, my dear. There's a reason I'm here, being tortured each year. Hell seems to be where we are. Thank you.
Awesome. Don't worry about me. So thank you, T, for sharing those solemn words. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're going to be hearing some more from T in a little later on. I'm going to just go right into our second presentation for the day. I'm going to be calling up Cheyenne. So Cheyenne's another OG, long-standing SoundCheck member. She's got a really, really great, incredible performance for us, and so we're going to be getting her to do that. So I'm calling up, if all the band members for Cheyenne could just quickly come on up and join us. So we want, Dondre's coming up, awesome. Shamar, y'all are in for a treat. I promise you that. Awesome. So I'll turn it over to Cheyenne. Hey, Cheyenne. How you doing?
Good. Hi, everybody. Hi. Oh, my name is Cheyenne. You can call me Shay. It's been a hell of a day today. So don't mind me. I'm fighting my own, don't want to say the word, but you know the phrase. This song was written, let me first talk about my time here at SoundCheck. I joined SoundCheck back in 2014, 2015, and it's been a really great help in terms of connection. I think it's important to have great people around you and just a really cool circle, so I'm grateful for everybody here. So this song was written a while back during one of our SoundCheck events that we were preparing for. It was during Black History Month, so you'll get the relevance when I start singing the song, but hopefully these words kind of resonate with us here. We are all people of color, and so I hope this, touches you in some way. Okay. By the river, seeds that can deliver, uprooted by the water, and now they're left to falter. But in the drought season, they will find a reason to rise up, rise up. Don't let them steal your crown, know that all around you're a queen and you're a king, and we can do this thing. Don't let them steal your crown, know that all around you're a queen and you're a king, and we can do this thing. Yeah. used to hang us like fruit. They pulled us out from our roots. They make all our decisions. What a rotten disposition. But now we are in a better position. We can change the game, build our people up, and make ourselves a name. So don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a queen and you're a king, and we can do this thing. So don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a queen and you're a king, and we can do this thing. Yeah, we can do this thing. Yeah, yeah. But soon we'll get it right. We'll learn how to fight. We'll go down in history. Our life will soon be back again, shining till the end. Let's get down. Our time is now. Our time is now. So don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a queen and you're a king, and we can do this thing. So don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a queen and you're a king, and we can do this thing. We can do this thing, yeah, yeah. We can do this thing.
So don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a, and you're, you gotta help me with words, can do this thing. Don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a king and you're a queen, and we can do it. Don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a king and you're a queen, and we can do this. So don't let them steal your crown. Know that all around you're a queen, you're a king, and we can do this thing. I don't know, it's just in my head. This is what it's a melody, you know what I mean? Walking down the street, you know what I mean? Getting up in the morning, getting ready, hey, looking in the mirror, brushing your hair. Don't let them steal my crown, right? Just know that all around, right? It's a track. All right, y'all. All right. I'm sorry, man. That's a tune. Let's give it up for Cheyenne. Hey, that's a track. That is a tune. That is a tune. Can't wait, Cheyenne. Big things in store for that song. But wonderful, wonderful. And so she shared the story of how all of that came to be. I'm so very thankful and excited. So we're going to move right along in the program. No long talk, as they would say. So we're going to actually get T back. And this time she's going to actually be performing for us one other original. Are y'all enjoying the original music tonight? Yeah? Yeah? Catching a little vibe? Feeling good? All right, yeah. Let's go, Mom. Let's go. All right. All right, so we're going to get T. Come on up, T, for the last performer for the day from one of our participants. And yeah, man, we're going to get this going. Thank you.
All right, y'all. I'm going to be transparent. I am a bit nervous. Can I sit? Anxious. Instrumental health day. Yeah, I'm going to be. Tell them we have won. simply with the power of unity. We have just begun. We're taking over the community if we keep standing tall. There was telling what we're capable of. Remember, if you fall, remember we're always there to help you up. We have decided to never be divided. Yes, we are united. Bad vibes are uninvited. If we stay side by side, no limitations are inside. We are rising to the top with nothing in the way to stop us. We are one, we are fights. We're above the things they call us, 'cause united we have already won. We will see better days if we just have faith from within ourselves. And when the skies are gray, remember that the rain still fills up the wells. United we are strong. We can move mountains and break down some walls. And though the journey's long, together we have the power to face it all. Oh, we have decided to never be divided. Yes, we are united. Bad vibes are uninvited. If we stay side by side, no limitations are inside. We are rising to the top with nothing in the way to stop us. We are one, we are fighters. We're above things they call us, 'cause united we have already won. Saying we are united. Sorry, y'all. I want y'all to join me with this one. This one's a call and answer. So when I say we are united, I'm gonna need you to say we are united back to me. Yeah? Yeah, we can do that? Interaction, we can do that? All right. Say, we are united. We are united. We are united. We are united. If we stay side by side, no limitations are inside. We are rising to the top with nothing in the way to stop us. We are one, we are fighters. We're above the things they call us, 'cause united we have already won.
So T, stay right here. Stay right here. Come on, come on. So my favorite part of T's song. So first of all, let's give it up for T. Isn't she awesome? Isn't she incredible? She wrote that. And we're hearing some of our wonderful young people playing and performing. Dondre here on keys. I saw Shamar on bass in the last song. Some of our mentors filling in and helping out as well. My favorite part of your song, T, You got to help me with the words because they're so powerful, so powerful. It starts with if we stand. So just say that. I want everybody to connect with this song. You said if we stand
Side by side.
side by side.
No limitations are in sight.
No limitations are in sight. Come on, man. Y'all listening to that? If we stand hand in hand.
We are rising to the top with nothing in the way to stop us.
Woo! We are rising to the top with. All right. So we're rising to the top with nothing else to stop us. All right. And let's hear the rest of it.
Okay, should I just... To the top with nothing in the way to stop us. One, we are fighters. We're above the things they call us. Because united, we have already won.
Woo. I've got no words. Let's give it up for T. Let's give it up for T. That is phenomenal. So we are going to take a quick break. We just want to give you all a chance, if you have not already, to go and grab some refreshments. We're just working on a little bit of the technical thing out here. So we're going to take a 5 minutes. For all of our audience, if you have not registered as yet, I know most of you probably have. It's a really good idea, too, because we're going to be giving away some prizes in a little bit. So go out to the front table, make sure you're registered, grab a bite, and join us right back in about 5 minutes, yeah? We're going to continue with the rest of our presentation for today. How's that sound, folks? Awesome. Thank you so much. Band, play us out. If we stand... are inside, we are rising to the top.
Hey everyone! Welcome, welcome, welcome! So while we have a bit of an intermission, we're just gonna invite you to go and get some actual dinner. There's rice and peas, jerk chicken, and like a vegan stew there. So please make your way to the lounge, help yourself, and just remember your neighbor, please.
Awesome. Let's give it up for our wonderful band. One more time. We've got Brian on organ, one of our keyboard instructors on bass, Adam Favors, and Devontae in the booth holding it down on drums. All right, I am going to just quickly talk to us about what's ahead. Thank you all, folks, for coming on out. We are so excited and happy to have you. We are going to just jump into the remainder of our night. We're going to have a really wonderful time and some really great discussions. So we're going to get right into it. But before I get started, I just want to take 1 minute out just to tell everybody about today. Does anybody know what day it is today? I know it's Instrumental Health. I know we're doing this event, but there's actually a national day going on. Does anybody know what it's called? Oh, say it louder for the people in the back. All right, it is Giving Tuesday. So Giving Tuesday is a global generosity movement. It's the world's largest global generosity movement. If you go on your social media pages, if you go on Giving Tuesday, just Google it, and you'll see all kinds of amazing organizations doing some amazing, incredible work. I just want to take 30 seconds before we jump into the rest of our time, just to let you all know a little bit more about SoundCheck. I know I've been doing some introductions, but definitely want you all to understand a little bit more about why our work is so important. Then we're going to get right into our panel discussions, and call it a night after some wonderful giveaways, raffles, and some great stuff. So, as I mentioned, talked a little bit about who we are as an organization. I just want to talk a little bit about our impact. Are folks seeing the slides up on? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's not going. All right, that's all right. So I think it is. Okay, perfect. It is going. All right, so as you can see from behind me, it's telling you all about the event, but also all about SoundCheck as an organization. But just really want to quickly tell you about our mission. So our mission is to provide youth facing barriers with opportunities to develop musical proficiency, positive identities, and leadership skills within a safe learning environment. So where you are right now is the safe learning environment. This is SoundCheck Youth Arts Center, and this is where we run all of our programs. Right now we're in the live floor. This room looks so different. 6 months ago, anyone could tell you, didn't look like this. And so we're building and growing, but it's all in the name of community because we believe our community deserves the absolute best, all right? And so we provide young people facing barriers with these opportunities to develop musical proficiency, leadership skills, and positive identities. Did y'all hear that coming through the songs? Don't let them steal your crown, right? Come on, we're talking about the black community. We're talking about marginalized communities, facing barriers. All these positive messages. We are united. We don't hear this from the media. We don't hear this type of presentation from a lot of the mainstream. And so we're creating a counter narrative to all of that hoopla, and we're letting folks know exactly who we are and defining that on our terms. Everybody following along? Next, our mission, our mandate, we just talked about it. So our vision is to see a new unified sound. We want to hear a perfect sound of cadence and harmony opposing violence and poverty. So that's what we're all about. It's all about black empowerment, empowering black and racialized communities. That's what we are about. And so just want to talk quickly about our impact. Just last year. So last year we delivered 43 free workshops. 43 free music workshops. All right, I thank you. I thought that was all right. I thought we did okay. Not a hand clap. Over 100 hours of professional artist development. So whether that was our master classes, our professional development workshops that we delivered, over 100 hours of development. Isn't that something to be thankful for? Over 170 young people impacted both in person and virtually last year. Can you believe that, y'all? Through our programs. Over $1,500 distributed in emergency support. So as we know, COVID's been going along. We did two really great things for the community. One was just emergency support. The second was we did this really amazing micro grant where we gave out $250 to 8 wonderful participants and community members to purchase some music equipment that's going to support their music journey. Isn't that great? 8 lucky participants that took part in that. Going through the list, in 2018 we got to this location where we are right now. We've been doing some renovations since, and I just want to share some quick stats. I promise I'm going to get out of the way. So this was a survey. We got the Student Commission of Canada to come in and do a survey because we want to showcase the results. We think we're the best kept secret, and we want folks to know about it. So this was a survey conducted in 2019. 100% of youth felt safe in our programs. 100%. Thank you. 94% of young people felt they learned a lot from our programs. Thank you. 94% of youth feel they are accepted for their opinions and who they are. 94%. And last but not least, 92% of youth felt that program staff take their ideas seriously. So just to illustrate this in a moment, one person said, I learned how to play guitar. I learned how to play drums. We saw some of that today. But I learned how to budget. And I learned how to speak in front of people also. Right? So it's not just about the music. It's about the empowerment and the uplifting as well. Last but not least, I just want to share some stats because I'm a numbers person. I like to get right in the nitty-gritty. So as you know, we're a Black-led organization. We're serving a lot of Black and racialized youth. I want to give you some statistics just so y'all can understand. We have, so check this out. According to some stats from Unfunded, this was this was a report. You can Google it, look it out, look for it. Unfunded, Black communities overlooked by Canadian philanthropy. So this was a national report. They looked at all the top funding agencies across Canada, Canada-wide, not just in Ontario. I want to share some stats with you in terms of what community support was looking like. Only 0.13% of total grants were given to Black serving organizations in Canada during 2017 and 2018. That number is not 13%, 0.13%. Okay, watch this. I've got another number for you. Only 0.03% of total grants disseminated during that same period were allocated to Black-led organizations. So in other words, there are organizations that are serving the Black community. They got 0.13% of the funding for the Black community, but when it came to funding, now that for Black-led organizations, it was 0.03%. So in other words, we really need your help. Our young people really need your support. So if you're here today and you're enjoying this, you're believing in the work that's being done, I urge you, I encourage you, I ask you to join this incredible movement, letting somebody know about SoundCheck, letting them know about the incredible work that we're doing here. We're running programs twice a week right now. It's going to be scaling up more in the new year. But there's so much fun and exciting things going on that you can all get involved in. And so we want you to connect with us. If you haven't already, right at the front is our donation table. So please, we urge you, we encourage you. It goes such a long way in terms of helping us to make a difference in the community. So that's my few words, just talking about Giving Tuesday. But thank you for listening, and thank you for taking the time out to hear our work. We're going to get right back into the program. Awesome. So we're going to get right. Oh, this is my daughter. Oh, baby girl. This is Nevaeh. Oops. Hi, princess. So anybody that knows me, I've got three amazing, my wife and I, we've got three amazing little girls. This is two of them right here. And so I'm going to let them go back to mommy or grandma because I don't think I can multitask that well. I'm a very one thing at a time. But hey, princess, you okay? Daddy loves you. Go back to Nana. Okay. I know you want to stay with Daddy. I want to stay with you too. Oh, we have a problem. All right, I think Auntie's coming. Awesome. Here, go to Auntie Lena. All right. She's not having it. In any case, we're going to jump right in with the rest of our program. So we have three amazing panelists that are going to be joining us today. I'm just going to call them up one at a time. They're going to give us a really amazing performance. So we're going to be able to run that and get it going. So first up, first person we want to call up today, I have this really incredible bio that I want to share with you. I think it's awesome. So I want to call to the stage. So this young person is a professional pianist. She is, I don't even know if I can say all of this. She is a keyboardist. She is a multi-instrumentalist. She is a producer. She is a content creator. She is a music educator. She is an instrumental fusion artist. I want to call to the stage, known as the Toronto's Queen of Vibes. Her passionate and meaningful sound creates a unique mixture of faith, soul, vulnerability, and divine balance. We're going to get to hear from none other than Desiree D. She's going to play us on, and we're going to get to chat with her in a second. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Desiree, let's go. Come on. Desiree one more time. Desiree! I think if we clap, I think she will be able to play. Let's give it up for Desiree D. Desiree, that sounded amazing. So Desiree, why don't you take a seat, join us on our couch here. Want to make it nice and comfy for you. Make sure you can get a seat over there. And we're going to call up our next panelist and performer. So I've got to get ready for this one. I want you all to meet. This brother is a professional bassist. He is a musical director. He is a band leader. He is a song writer and sound production. I want to introduce Mark Manhertz. He started playing bass over 20 years ago, and he's been playing professionally for the last 14 years. Mark has experience. I can't even get into it. He is absolutely incredible, and we're going to hear from him right now. Let's give it up for none other than Mark Manhertz. up for Mark Man Hurts. One more time. Mark, didn't that sound incredible? Did y'all? I hear you, Mark. I hear you, sir. And last but not least, I'm going to call up to the stage. This is a professional bassist. We got some bass players. Oh, man. Let's go. We've got this young person. He is a professional bassist, band leader, audio engineer, musician. The stage is like his second home, where he captivates the audience members with his ability to, with his craft and his well-produced live performances with power and energy. Let's give it up for none other than Joanne Clark.
Celebrating, come on. Come on, put us together. Let's celebrate our God and our King. For He is great, and He does great things. He is good, and He deserves all the praise. So we've come to give Him all the praise. Come on, somebody lift up and say, every praise to our God. Every word of worship with one. Every
Let's give it up one more time. Incredible, incredible, incredible. So Juwayon Clark, didn't he sound amazing? Do you guys hear that bass growling? Like, oh my gosh, man. Jeez. All right, all right. All right, we're going to get right into our panel discussion. So, Joanne, you can make your way over and join. All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. All right, I am so excited to join here this day with this amazing panel. Yeah, man, thank you. I am so excited. I'm full. I'm just absolutely full. Been hearing some incredible music today, and I'm just so happy to get into our discussion. So we're going to be talking about our theme, instrumental health, and I hope everybody can see me. I hope panelists, y'all can see me as well. So first and foremost, we all heard you introduce yourself musically, but I think it's really cool just to have an opportunity to tell us a little bit about who you are. So why don't you just tell us a little bit, some of the highlights of your career. Who are you? How you got into music? Just give a quick, I know you did a musical introduction, but why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit more in your own words? What are some of those things that y'all have done? Come on, tell the people them it's time to go. Don't hold back. I like that in the crowd. All right, go ahead. Is it on? Here, you got mine.
Hey, everybody. All right, so I have been in music for almost 27 years. Yeah, so I've been playing since the age of 6 years old. And it's funny, I hated music growing up, just being honest with you. I hated it. I did. You know what? I know, but there's a whole journey to that, right? So, growing up in a Caribbean household, when your parents, they see that you have a gift, and they'll do whatever it takes to pull it out of you. That's what my parents did. So the first 2 years, I hated music. But back in the 90s, when I was taking music, there was no representation, right? There was no black teachers back in those days teaching piano, right? So it's funny, my dad had taken me to a lesson, and he saw a black lady walking in the music school, and he asked her, "Oh, do you teach here?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to sign up my daughter with you." So from that point, there was just like this connection, because number one, I saw somebody that looked like me, right? And that's so important, especially in the black community. When we do things, there's a lack of representation in certain areas, and it's important to have that representation. So I had that representation, and our connection was just like this. And I went from hating music to loving it, and pursued it at the university level. And then I became an artist 8 years ago. I just celebrated my anniversary a couple weeks ago. So, but even with the whole thing of representation, I never saw myself represented in the industry, right? My only representation in the industry was Alicia Keys, and she's biracial, right? So she was kind of like my idol, and she made me believe that it was possible to be successful in the industry as a black woman. And I didn't see any black woman instrumentalists in Canada who were doing things, and especially in the church. Growing up in the church, I'd go to different churches, and the bands were dominated by males. And I was like, where are all the females at? Where are they at? And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to be the representation that I never saw growing up. So yeah. I decided to be the representation I didn't see. And of course, with that, there's always haters and people who are jealous, and they're like, oh, well, why she's doing that? I said, well, you know what? I had the balls to do it. And honestly, it's been an interesting journey, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, because to this date, I've been able to play for over 50 artists in Canada. I had my music played internationally, nationally on CBC radio. I've been able to play for artists in the US, and I've just been really doing it, right? And something that I didn't think I was gonna blow up that much. I'm just being honest, right? Because, you know, when it comes to Canada, we're very close-minded, and we are just used to what we're used to. And I know in the beginning it was very difficult because, you know, you're doing something that's never been done in the country. So of course people are gonna be like, oh, well, I don't know if I wanna, you know, be interested in that because I'm so used to this, right? But I feel like it's important for us to be open-minded and to try new things. I mean, we went through a whole pandemic and we had to be open to so many different changes that were happening. And you can see those changes in the music industry, right? And we have to be open to things that we may not be used to it, but we have to at least try, right? And I went from, you know, being, you know, in this little small box to now I'll go to the mall and people will recognize me and they're like, oh, can I take a photo with you? I'm like, but I look like trash. But I just say all this to say to just never give up on your dreams and to always bet on yourself. And it was when I bet on myself, a lot of things were happening for me. And it's only by the grace of God that I'm able to do all these things. Right? If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be doing music right now. I'd probably be doing something that I shouldn't be doing. So I'm grateful. So, yeah.
Wow. I don't know how to top that. So I'm Joanne Clark, and I guess a little bit of history. Everyone thought I was gonna play drums. Yeah, let's start there. Let's start there. Musically oriented family. My mom sang. My uncle played drums. My aunt sang. My grandmother sang. It's just everybody was always. I was at church, like 7 days a week. You know, and it was a different time. It was a different time, but it was good. You know, it's a good place to be. But yeah, I grew up watching my mom and my uncle like play for. There's a choir called Chosen Generation from like long time ago, back at Halton Street, and yeah, that's all. My mom is here, so she's making noise. But but that's honestly that's where it started. Like I was just submersed in music. I didn't even have a choice actually, and I started to slowly gravitate towards it. My uncle would, we lived in the same house, and my uncle would like go to work or go somewhere, and the drums would be there in the basement. And I'd be like, let me just go over there right quick, pick up the sticks. And, you know, and I just started, you know, I started playing whatever was in my head, you know. And it started there. And I thought I was gonna play drums too. Up until like grade 9, I was like, yeah, I want to be a professional drummer, you know. But it didn't actually end up working out that way. There's a heavy competition in the drum area, if anyone doesn't know. At all the churches I went to, there's just so many drummers, and I was actually on the choir at Malton Church of God, and Kenny, my brother, Kenny Blake. He used to leave his bass at church, and I was like, yeah, 6-string Ibanez sound gear, and classic, everyone's starter bass, you know. And we were, I was on the choir singing, and you know, because if you don't play, you sing, you do something, you know what I'm saying? There's somewhere you gotta go, right? So I learned my part. I realized I was really good at ear, like by ear. I pick up very fast by ear. And so we learned the part, and I walked over to the bass, and I was like, had my bass to the ear, you know, play really quiet so nobody hears you, you know? And I was learning the parts. And honestly, like from that day, it was like, that was it. Bass was like the thing for me. And with the ear that I was blessed with, that God blessed me with, I was able to be in so many great situations. I followed people around with my bass. Actually, sorry, it wasn't my bass. It was Kenny's bass. Let's get that correct. I had Kenny's bass for probably 4 years. They started like doing gigs, like everything. He's just like, you know, I was like, yeah, just let me know when you need the bass back. He's like, yeah, no problem, no problem. Honestly, no, Kenny, that's my brother. He's the best. And he, so yeah, I finally got my bass like 4 years later into it, and
it was like I never turned back. I have a lot of other musical influences along the way. I grew up in Rexdale, Jamestown, shout out. And we, so we, there's a lot of music programs at the time, which you can't say the same nowadays, right? Which is terrible. But they had a lot of music programs, and a big thing, there's a heavy Caribbean community. And so I got to learn steel pan. So I was like learning steel pan like grade 3 or grade 4. I got to grade 6 and they had like they had string section, they had band, they had like everything, and it was something I was like, wow, I could just do all these things. This is amazing. I ended up playing violin for like 5 or 6 years, and steel pan and flute and like all these things. I was a part of orchestras and all kinds of things, and everything, all of that led into, I guess, where I am now, where it's like I have all these things to draw from, you know, and I've always grown up to appreciate different styles of music. My uncle Anthony taught me that, not even teaching me, like he just out of example, like he always listened to like a lot of different music. My mom always listened to all kinds of different music, and I always remembered them. And it actually came in handy, my mom listening to all the R&B in the 90s, because when I started gigging, I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that song. And I just started playing it. It was like, yeah, it was amazing. Honestly, that got me through so many gigs, which was crazy. So yeah, like, and you know, growing up, being a musician, eventually finding my wife, you know, that was like one of top 3 best things, you know what I'm saying, to happen. And then children following after. I was blessed enough to have, stepchildren, and I took that on. And honestly, like when Desiree mentioned it, it's like it's literally by the grace of God. Like honestly, like my success, I will never take credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make any sense. When people ask me like, oh, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really by the grace of God, because everything kind of came into, everything worked out. You know what I'm saying? And I have a wonderful family, and I ended up having three more children, so we have 7. And it's like, it's crazy. It's like living the something that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, being a musician and full-time musician for so many years and stuff like that, it's like, it's been an amazing journey. And yeah, that's like, honestly, that's really my highlight. Like growing up, playing bass, that was cool. Traveling, I got to travel. I didn't realize how much I had traveled until, I guess, more recently. I'm starting to like, I've been taking it in, I guess, since pandemic, everyone's been thinking a lot. And I was like, wow, like, no, like, I've been blessed to go like to different continents and things like that. And like, to get those kind of opportunities was just amazing. I realized that I was living the dream. Like I had that dream, like, yeah, I want to like tour and do all that stuff, and I actually got to do it by the grace of God. So I'm very grateful to be where I am right now. Yeah, and I hope that answers your question. I don't know.
Well, before I say anything, I just want to shout out Joel and the SoundCheck team. This is an amazing night that you guys have put on, and the impact you guys have on the community is amazing. So I just want to shout you out. But with that, my name is Mark Manhertz, and very similar story to these two here. Funny enough, we've crossed paths over the years. We went to the same high school, Desiree and I. Yeah. And then Joanne is somebody like I looked up to like as a forerunner. So like when he was fiddling around on the bass, I was in the audience looking like, hey, okay, we grew up in the same local church network, right? And so we have a lot of mutual friends. But just going back in time, similar to Joanne, I thought I was gonna be a drummer. You know what I mean? And so, that's the first thing that you kind of look at cognitively, and it's probably the easiest thing to play. And not like that. But I mean, like as a kid, like, you're looking at it, you're knocking the drums, and it's not easy though. No disrespect, yo, to the drummers out there, Danny, Devante. Yeah, no disrespect. You know what you already. But no. Just in terms of just like catching like rhythm, that was probably the first thing I looked at. I'm like, okay, this is like, oh, kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? And then while this is going on, we had a guitar player at my local church. He was a deacon. Shout out, Brother Martin, Deacon Martin. And he had an Ibanez black guitar. And man, that thing, he was a lefty, so he had the lefty, and I would watch him, and I would be there, like, right beside him as a kid. Like, I was probably maybe around the ages of your daughter, just like, you know what I mean? And in church, I'd draw guitars, and, you know, I was obsessed with it. But little did I know that years later, after trying other instruments and it didn't work out, that I would have gravitated back to bass or guitar, period, right? And so by the age of 14, when I started in high school, similar to Chewy, I started playing bass, and that started in like a guitar class, a classical guitar class. Yeah, I just, you know, was trying a thing. J. Clark Richardson. Yeah. You know? And then, you know, at that point, I noticed my ear was a little bit more advanced than some of the classmates, right? So that's when I learned, okay, what a basic major scale is. And I'm like, okay, you know, we need a bass player at church. Okay, there's a bass sitting there. Let me see what's going on here, right? You know? And I got to shout out some guys that I grew up with that were very integral with my musical growth. One being Andre Francis, another one Adrian Francis, Derek Martin, Ryan Perrier, my brother that follows me, but yeah, Montel too. But no, like these guys, we grew up together. We just carved a path, and we, you know, just were bumping our heads against a wall, trying to figure things out. And then what also spurned the musical creativity and the musical growth was something that we had in the New Testament Church of God called Teen Talent. And so it was a competition in which, you know, young people in the city at different churches and different fellowships would come together every other year and just display talent for God. And that's like, again, when I saw Joanne and I saw guys like, you know, Larnell Lewis, Otis Williams, Ricky Lewis, Marlon Pennant, you know, and the list goes on, right? You know what I mean? And then even some of the OGs, Jonathan Laws as well, too, was another guy that we saw. But that was like, okay, now the wheels are turning. There is like another level, you know what I mean, outside of like what I was listening to at the time, which was like, you know, like a lot of gospel reggae, which I love to this day. Let me tell you something. I love gospel reggae. Stitchy, Real Power. If you guys never heard that album, take it in, all right? It changed your life, you know what I mean? But and you know that is derived from my parents. Shout out to my parents. They really sold into us and believed in us with regards to just some music and, you know, taking the time to take us to music stores and, you know, give us a chance to really just press forward in the gifting that they saw that God gave us. So I got to shout out, you know, my parents, Henry and Monica Manhertz. You know, they're a big part of who I am and why I am where I am at today. Also, you know, my brothers, and this kind of ties into the highlight of, you know, some of the career accomplishments. Before I touch that, I gotta shout out Jerome Anderson. I don't know if you guys know Jerome Anderson. Jerome Anderson is an amazing piano player, MD, band leader in the city, but he also was very instrumental in changing how I look at music because he was the first person that gave me a CD that wasn't gospel reggae. Right? And so from that's when I learned, oh, wait, there's James Hall, there's, you know, Joe Pace, there's this and that. And that just opened up my mind to another level. So I can't, you know, be here and not mention his name. That's one of my best friends. And over the years, just making connections through music. Another couple people that really impacted me coming up was Matthew Burnett. I don't know if you guys know that guy. Yeah, he's doing some things in the city, you know. Nah, he's a guy out here still. That's my guy. You know, one of my best friends as well too. He's had some success in the industry, and you know, we played together for years. Another guy is Clayton Connell. Another guy that's based out in Ottawa. We played together for years in a band called Divine Purpose, and we grew together. And you know, life led us different ways and separate ways. And then you know, from there, just had some opportunities. So again, just more recently, having an opportunity to tour. Play different styles of music. This summer, I had an opportunity to tour across Canada with Joy Laps Lewis, Larnell Lewis, And that was an incredible opportunity. Shout out to those two. Those two are trailblazers in the city, in this country, for black creatives. If you guys don't know who those two are, please Google them, and listen to the music, stream it. They're amazing musicians and amazing people. So that was another highlight. And then I think one of the biggest, I say, career accomplishments is being able to work with my two brothers, Montel Manhertz and Michael Manhertz. My brother Michael Manhertz is an artist in the city. He just released an album called The Unashamed Project, and that was birthed out of just his journey through Christ. And the pandemic gave us a chance to really come together and do something special with that. So I'd be remiss without mentioning them. Obviously, as things have gone currently, I just recently got married, so I got to shout out my wife. She's at home right now watching. And yeah, love you. But just in the transition of being married and the opportunities that have come within the last 6-7 months, she's been really accommodating and really just easy with it. You know what I mean? So I gotta shout her out. I gotta appreciate her on that. But those are some of the bigger accomplishments. And then even with like the sound production and sound engineer, there's a guy in the back room here. I'm not gonna put him on the spot, but everybody knows who he is. And just watching him work, it changed my my whole perspective on how that side of things goes. So I gotta shout out Cordell Hay in the back here. I gotta shout him out. He's a big influence on just how I approach that side. But yeah. No long talking. That's it for me. But thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Awesome. So this next question, are y'all enjoying our panelists so far? All right, perfect. So we want to get into our theme a little bit. And one of the things, if y'all were listening, they talked a lot about support systems. Did y'all hear that? Sometimes we see them, right? But like, how did you get there? And sometimes it's what's going on behind the scenes, some of those support systems. I've got mine right here, but anyway. Hi, sweetheart. But the point is, the support systems that are behind that actually help to support the work. And so what I want to ask this question is, what are some strategies that you use to support you? And I know you talked about some of the people, but kind of get into the conversation. We're talking about mental health here. What are some of those strategies that help you to be at your best, right? What are those things that support your mental health, your well-being, and how do you, this was a really important piece, how do you balance that? So like this balance between, your career, all y'all doing some amazing things, and your mental health journey. Do y'all understand the question? All right.
I guess the last will be first, yeah? Yes. All right. Well, for me personally, I think you touched on it. It's having a network that is that you're able to be transparent with, and with you individually, just being self-aware with where you're at. Sometimes you're gonna be high, sometimes you're gonna be low. So knowing, okay, like today it's maybe not the best day, and if there's something going on, talking through it. Whether it's with us as creatives, like a lot of what we do is through our instruments, right? So even just through that, like sometimes it's just therapeutic enough, but being able to communicate that, whether it's with a family member or close friend, and then understanding, there can't be too much on one side of the scale. So for me, I also work a 9-to-5, right? So that kind of naturally balances out things. So when I'm at work, I'm worrying about what's going on at work, whereas opposed to, sometimes as an entrepreneur, a lot of times, pressure can come from that, and, sometimes it's a little bit more tricky to balance it out. But I think, like you said, the core value is having a strong network that you can trust and believe in when you're down, even when you're up, talking about the good things, you know what I mean? Having that support, I think, is major with that.
Okay, so as somebody who wears multiple hats, I've had to find a lot of different strategies. So I do have a small network of ladies that I lean on when I need someone to talk to, but I'm also somebody who is in her head a lot. So I've had to find outlets outside of talking to people. So as a child, and it's funny how, we're talking about mental health, and sometimes you find yourself going back to your childhood and the things that you used to do as a child. And as a child growing up, I always had a notebook. My mom always bought me a notebook, and I was always writing. And growing up as an adult, I wasn't really jotting, but because now I need an outlet to get my thoughts out, I found myself journaling again, right? And just writing out my thoughts, how I was feeling, things that I wanted to accomplish, things I wanted to manifest, and things I wanted to achieve. But the important thing was being consistent with it, because I know at times, because I do so much, sometimes I'm not as consistent as I would like to be. So this pandemic really forced me to wake up to some things that I was avoiding. And journaling helped me get those things out, right? And it's so important to be able to do that, because when you're in your head and you're doing everything else and going with the hustle and bustle of life, you don't have those moments. You need those moments to yourself, right? There's days where I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. And I have to intentionally not do anything, because I'm that person where if I'm home and I'm off work, I still find myself doing work. And that's not good. So you have to have those days where you have to intentionally say, I'm not doing anything, and don't do anything. Be lazy. You're allowed to, right? And I learned something this year, that if you can be productive and not be doing anything. You can be productive and not doing anything. I had to learn that, because I always thought that productive meant, I had to always be doing something. But really, you don't have to be, right? Especially if you've laid a very good foundation for yourself in your career, and as an entrepreneur, you don't always have to be working. Like for me, I'm a content creator, so I'm on social media creating content. I'm always coming up with creative ideas. But I've had to cut down my schedule, right? Instead of posting every day, I'm posting twice a week, right? Because I can do that, because I've laid the foundation. Over the last 8 years, okay, my followers know what they like. It's okay if they don't hear from Desiree every day, right? Even with getting musical opportunities, I've had to say no. I've had to learn how to say no, because I'm always saying yes. Learn to say no, because I am guilty of being a people pleaser and always looking out for everybody else's best interests and making everybody feel happy. But then what does that do to me, right? That only hurts me, because I'm giving out everybody all the energy that I have, and I should really be pouring it back into myself. So I've had to intentionally say no to people. Sorry, I can't take that gig today. Sorry, I can't help you with that today. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm not in the right mental space to help you. And as musicians, we need to learn how to say no. We don't have to accept every single gig that's out there. There's plenty for everybody. But your mental health is so important, so sometimes you have to say no. And also being self-aware. Self-aware is very important. For me, I'm a very self-aware person, but you can be so self-aware but not have the tools. Right? And that was me. I was so self-aware, but it's like I wasn't really tackling those things. And it's funny how it took a whole pandemic for me to be like, okay, I need to deal with this, because this is like life or death. Like, this could affect me. This could affect my generations after me and my kids. And I have to deal with those things, because I don't want them to go through those things that I went through. So, yeah.
Well, the timing of this event is impeccable. Me personally, this year has been a crazy year, and specifically like to a halt for me. And ever since then, I've been just deep in thought, having conversations with people, reaching out, just trying to make sense of things, you know what I'm saying? It's important to have people around you. It's really extremely important to be honest and to be transparent. a lot of times we don't want to, you know. I'm reading a book right now, and it's just talking about, like, you know, masculinity. We feel like we can't say stuff and whatever, right? You know, we got to be cool all the time. You know, act like we have, you know, we have everything figured out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wear your bass down low. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we don't. So we often don't have those real conversations. You know what I'm saying? And I found myself like looking or just really craving real conversations with people, real conversations with other men specifically. We can talk all day about music and bass, what kind of bass I'm using and what program I'm using to, you know, produce or engineer or whatever. Like, I have like endless, like, I'm on the internet all the time researching stuff, whatever, you know. And it's like, cool, we could talk endlessly about that, right? But it's like, we often don't know what's going on with each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's been my journey to kind of like figure out what's going on with me. And one of the things that's been, a number of things has been helping me. Number one is just speaking up. Speaking up, letting people know that, hey, like, things aren't okay, you know. And truthfully, I'm an honest person, so I'll tell you I'm not okay and just keep going. That's like my typical tactic. Like, yeah, I'm not okay. I remember one time last year, my pastor was like, yeah, how you doing? I was like, not good. And I just kept going, and because I had to do something, and I just kept going. And I'm sure he was like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, like, I honestly was not okay. And I had driven myself to the point where, like, I burnt myself out. I burnt myself out in just so many different areas. And this summer specifically was, like, just intense because as a musician, everything opened up, right? So, you know, I locked down in 2019 towards the end, and I was like, well, okay, I'm ready to go and, you know, get a job, and God blessed me with a job. And so I did that for, you know, until 2021, 2022. Sorry, what year is it? 2022? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like 2021 didn't exist. That's crazy. So up until this year, pandemic was 2020. That's why. Oh, sorry, my math is getting messed up. All right. So I had the job for like almost 2 years, and basically this summer came, and I was like, oh, okay, things are opening up. Because before that, it was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to support my family with what's going on. They, you know, they're in the industry. They tried to open up last year, and it did not work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't reliable, and so I was like, all right, you know, I'm cool. I'm cool where I am right now. And things had shifted for me. Like, I had an identity crisis when I was working, where it was like, I was like, who am I? Because I had associated myself with being a musician, being that same musician that everyone was like, yo, you're doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have people coming up to me, like, you know, that have seen me play or whatever, or know of me and stuff like that, and be like, yo, like, how do you do it? You know what I'm saying? The same question I'm talking about. And it's like, all of that at that time was like, it was like I was nobody. You know, I was taking care of my family, but there's a part of me that was like, you know, I gave up on the dream, like, you know, whatever. I was like, yo, forget music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was going through it. And I was like, I sent text messages to people that was just like, yeah, man, like, I'm just gonna go do this work thing and whatever, like some crazy, like I was actually going through it. And things opened up, and I was like, all right, let me see what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Let me try and do this work thing. Work and work does not work. It doesn't work. Work and work doesn't work. It doesn't. My daughter looked at me and she's like, Daddy, but you just came from work and you're going to work again? She's like, don't you stop working? Like, when's your rest day? And I was like, I couldn't even say anything. My 7-year-old daughter, I think she was 6 at the time, is like asking me these hard questions that I can't answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy because she sees it, right? Like, they all see it. And it's like, I just gotta do this, you know. And I guess pressures of, you know, being a father and, you know, bringing in income for the family and stuff like that. It's like I just wanted to kind of like do it all. So I attempted it. I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't think it would bring me to the point where I am now, where it's like I was just actually burnt out. I've never actually been burnt out like that before. I've never felt that burnt out before. It always felt manageable, and it's like I'm still recovering. Like I quit my job end of September, right, or mid-September, and it's like I didn't even want to do anything, and then I felt bad for not wanting to do anything. And I had to hold those feelings for, like, you know, I'm just talking about it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just talking about it recently within the past 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of what that did to me, you know, the back and forth. And it's been tough, but I realized that I do have resources around me. I have my pastor, Pastor Andy Miller. He has been, like, instrumental in just really checking up on me and helping me the past couple years. It's been like he's always checked up on me. I have close friends. More recently, Larnell, another shout out. Larnell is like one of the most amazing human beings in the whole world. And honestly, we've always had real talks. Like, I grew up with him. We went to Malton Church of God together and stuff. We rode in the same car to school and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I followed him to gigs and everything, and it's like he's always been that person that's like, as amazing as he is as a musician, he's always been one to have like real conversations. Like, he's always checked up on me when everything was like falling apart with like a past relationship that I had. It's like he was the only one that wasn't a part of anything, because like Larnell's not a part of any drama. And so he came at the time, and he was just like, how are you feeling? He's like, he's like whatever, I don't care what other people are saying or whatever. He's like I want to know from you what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And nobody asked that. You know what I'm saying? And that became a thing for me, where it was like, that's what I kind of like do. Well, that's how I interact with people, where it's like, yeah, like, who cares what's going on or whatever, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's have these conversations so that we can work through some things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I could say one thing that's going to help you, you know what I'm saying, then it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? If you could just get a break for like a couple minutes because we're having a different conversation, then that's worth it to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to really appreciate those relationships now, where it's like my pastor, you know, Larnell. My wife is always like, I'm always talking with my wife. You know, she's amazing. And yeah, just having those core people that you can go to. And once again, yeah, same thing what you're saying about like using those outlets or using those tools, right? Because, you know, I think a lot too. You know what I'm saying? I'm always troubleshooting things or whatever, just the way my brain works. And but not using the actual tools that are gonna help me and stuff like that. So having like great people around you. And then, you know, I just got another tool where Desiree just sent me a link to some therapists. Let's talk about that for a second. Where I've always been open to it. I was never one to be like, oh, I don't need a therapist. Like, that was never my thing. I've always been open to it, but it's like it's another resource that you can use, where someone that's not your family member, they're not your, like, you know what I'm saying, they don't know you, and they can just really sit down and listen to what you have to say and how you're feeling, and, you know, suggest a few things. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have, you know, someone from a outside, objective perspective. So yeah, those are, you know, some of the things.
That's great. Thanks, Boss.
No, you got your answer?
Okay. Sorry, y'all. All right, this is great. Man, incredible. Just the vulnerability, the honesty. Thank you all. Thank you. I know. Is this helping anybody? Is anybody? Okay, yeah, awesome. This next question, I just want to ask because, and I love this question. So just so y'all know, the young people that are in the program actually put these questions together. So I'm literally, don't look at me. But this next question,
How do you take care of your mental health? I know you talked about this, but in an industry that often exploits artists, we gotta talk the things, man, right? So how, like, no, real, you guys have been keeping it real, but how do you, how do you navigate through that?
I think just setting boundaries, having a bottom line, and for me, like no matter how enticing the gig might be, if it doesn't align like with my values, my core values, and most importantly, if it doesn't make sense for me and my family, like at this point it was just me and my wife, it's not really worth it to me, right? So that's kind of one of the major things, just having the boundaries and just having the standard. You know what I mean? So that's a major key for me.
Yep. It's the same for me. Boundaries, definitely. I know, and I'm going to speak to the upcoming artists and the upcoming musicians, because as an upcoming artist and upcoming musician, you want to get everything because you want to get yourself out there. I totally understand it. I was like that as well, too. Starting out, I wanted to really, have an opportunity to be at this and at this and at this. But as you get older, and as you see how the music industry is, especially in this country, I have to say it. For me, I am always saying, know your worth and add tax, or know your worth and add HST in this country. And it's important as a musician and an artist to know your value. And if you don't know your value, you will take anything that looks good. Say it again. If you don't know your value, you will take anything that looks good. And a lot of these things that look good aren't good. Yep. Been there, done that. Especially as a Black woman musician, right? And I've really had to make sure, like, is this gig right for me? Should I be doing this? Is it worth it to me? Like, can I still say, like, I know my worth taking this, right? I got bills to pay, just like everybody else. But at the same time, I'm a believer in the right gigs will find you. The right ones will find you as long as you know your worth. Know who you are, because in this industry, it's very easy to lose yourself. And it's so important to know who you are, know your value, know your core values, know where you stand, set your boundaries. And yeah, I will not accept that $100 gig. Sorry. Right? Because there's people who be like, oh, yeah, it's money. But this is where you lead out to burnout, right? Because you're taking all these gigs because it's like, yeah, I can put all this stuff on my resume. And then you burn out after a month. Guilty, right? And this year, because everybody and their mom wanted to be outside, everybody wanted to have an event the same week. So, of course, my phone was ringing off. Desiree, can you play for me? Kid, Desiree, can you do this? Desiree, can you do that? Desiree, can you play here? Desiree, this. And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm going on vacation. Leave me alone. So, and that's the other important thing as a musician. Take breaks. Take a vacation, even if it's for 3 days. If it's for 1 day, take a vacation. All of that money you making, you gonna make it back. Take a vacation. Because, like, when you're sick, you can't make no money, right? And we can't do what we do if we don't take breaks and, we don't take that time for ourselves. So know your worth, add HSD.
Wow, that's good. I guess it's the same thing that these guys said, right? No, just like I personally had to kind of change the way I did things, and also like just understanding my worth, understanding that okay, I did this for a while to kind of like establish myself, because like there's a point where it's like you do got to do certain gigs sometimes, right? And I'm not saying like gigs that are like out of your character or that go against your moral beliefs or any of those things, but just like there are like lesser things that you got to kind of take sometimes. But it's like you have to understand where you're at, You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole know your worth. It's like, understand where you're at. Okay, I'm just entry level. I'm getting in there. Okay, I'm going to do this for a little while. Maybe if you have a timeline in mind where it's like, okay, this year I'm going to do this. And then next year, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, next year the price goes up. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of feel how things are going or whatever. Like I had to do that personally. I had to learn to have that conversation, and it's a hard conversation to have. It's very much a business conversation. It's like it's not art. It's business. Like we are artists trying to operate in a business world, and it's like we get destroyed a lot of times because we're not coming from that perspective, or we don't even understand that perspective. So you have the butting heads of like, oh, I'm an artist, I think we should blah blah blah, and then the business person's like, oh, but I think, you know what I'm saying? It's like it just doesn't work out. So kind of understanding where you're at, understanding the industry that you're in, understanding the limits. I actually spoke to an employer that I worked with, and I had an amazing conversation with him where we actually ended up parting ways, which is hilarious. But we both walked away understanding kind of where each other were coming from, and we ended up working together again, right? And everything was fine, but it was like we're just coming from different perspectives. And I walked away from falling apart from that, separation, being like, okay, I think I kind of understand where he's coming from now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and certain things that he said, one thing that he said to me was like, there's limits in every industry, right? Or there's like a standard in every industry. So you have to be aware if you're asking a way above a particular standard, you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing the market, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know this place only does $100 gigs, then I can't say I want $500. They're gonna laugh at me and be like, well, sorry. You know what I'm saying? And then I can't sit here and it's not worth it for me to sit here and argue with someone that's only gonna, like, that's what happens. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, maybe it's time to look in some other directions, you know what I'm saying? But no, definitely know your worth, and like honestly, like pay attention to like your moral compass as well. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a major thing. That's a major thing. Like for myself as a man playing certain gigs, like we're on the road, there's girls everywhere, you know what I'm saying? I could be that guy. But I choose not to. You know what I'm saying? I could go and do those other things, but I choose not to. And it's like people have learned to respect. I think they always respected me, but like, people respect me in the industry that, Jay, okay, yeah, he's not gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's fine, you know what I'm saying? And some people might be afraid to not do certain things, you know what I'm saying? Out of worries that, okay, maybe they might like shun me, or like, okay, they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to work with me or whatever. Like, I've worked with all kinds of artists, you know what I'm saying? All different genres, pop, rock, punk, you know what I'm saying? Country, you know what I'm saying? R&B, hip hop. Like I've well-versed in the industry type of thing, and being away and all those things. And that's one thing you got to really hold on to, who you are as a person, and not give that up for those opportunities, right? Because it's like there's a money side of it, and then there's also that personal side of it where it's like, yeah, knowing your worth, right? So yeah, that's a huge thing for me.
Wow, solid. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go rapid fire here. The discussion's amazing. I just want to be able to get through. There's so many things. One word answer here. What would you be doing if you were not pursuing music?
Probably a chef. Yeah, I like to cook.
I would be a lawyer.
I'd probably either be a race car driver or building race cars or engines or something in the automotive area. Yeah, like something specialty though, like not like just, yeah.
Awesome, that's great. No, that's awesome. This next question, I know you all talked a little bit about your careers and stuff, just so some of the audience can know. Just what's one highlight? Like, just one highlight, one moment from your career. You're like, yo, like this is cool.
I have one. Honestly, one highlight for me is this happened more recently, 2019. My friend Matthew Burnett, our friend, our boy, he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you want to play for Daniel Caesar?" And I was like, "Yep." and honestly, so yeah, like the thing about that experience was that I have known Matt for years, and I've always admired him because he's always been working away. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've admired all of us. Like, all of us have been working at this, right? So to see him build up and do his thing, and like I've done studio sessions, like, you know, played bass on some songs and stuff. So I had met Daniel in like 2016 or something like that. So like to come full circle to be like, yeah, hey, yeah, here's you know, Daniel Caesar or whatever. I was like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? And then to be on tour, like traveling the world, and like I'm like, bro, like this is crazy. And then looking around, it was literally a combination of like all the most like amazing people that I've worked with. You know, Matt himself, and then even like Adrian Benz was on drums, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, so working with everybody that I've kind of grown up with in a way was crazy. Like looking around being like, wow, we're touring the world. The background singers, Navan, Naja, Dana, and another friend that I met, Elise, I met her like a couple years before that as well. So it was literally like a combination of like everybody that I've worked with, and like in my opinion, like the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mike Rowland. That's my boy. We met on the Marianas Trench tour, and like so he's an amazing tech, and like meeting all these people and working with them is like, I like to be around professionals, and it was an actual opportunity. That was like a time where I was a part of something that was so large with so many professionals and so many like amazing people at what they do. And yeah, that was definitely easily a highlight. Yeah, that was easily a highlight for me.
So unlike these two here, I have never gone on tour before. And it's a major goal of mine, but to tour with my own stuff. But I did get an opportunity to go on tour, very short 3-day tour. I got a call from one of my friends, James Bailey. He says, so there's this artist named Zaki Ibrahim. She's from South Africa. She's looking for a keyboard player. Do you want to go on tour for a few days? I said, yeah. So I got my first taste of tour life. Went to London, Ontario, went to Aurelia to play a couple of festivals in July. So it was a nice experience, and I'm like, so this is how tour life is. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, again, I gotta go back to just seeing an email earlier this year. I had to like triple check it because I'm like, this can't be. This can't not be. And yeah, it was, again, just that opportunity to tour with Joy and Larnell. And yeah, like at the time I was still living at my parents' house, and I was talking to my brother Montel. Shout out to Montel. And Montel's just like, yeah, man, you're a guy, man. I'm like, I'm looking at the email like, I don't know, man. You know, like, not that I don't know, like, as in, like, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to take it, but I'm like, oh, man, am I ready for this? You know? Like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, yeah, let me just reply. And, man, to these guys' point, it's like, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. And I had a chance to share the stage with not only those two, but some other amazing musicians that are Toronto-based. Jeremy Ledbetter, who's an amazing piano player. Elmer Ferrer, who's an incredible guitarist. Rob Christian, incredible horn, flutist, just in general, just woodwinds. Yeah, that's the guy. And Andrew McCanch, an amazing trumpet player. Like, so just being able to just be a part of that little old me, it was one of the highlights of my career, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that. Yeah.
That's huge. That's awesome. Really quickly, I know we touched about the music scene in the city, in Canada. folks are wondering, how do you network? How do you get in there on in the Toronto music scene?
I think most importantly, just obviously, the skill is one thing, right? And being able to play, but just having a good attitude and being just being yourself, like, you know what I mean, like being friendly, because you never know who is who and what is what. And not to say that you should approach life like that, but for me, one of the things that I always prided myself on, no matter where I'm at, no matter who I'm around, I don't change who I am. It could be, President Obama. It's not gonna, you know what I mean? I mean, it's Obama, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna go on like, oh my God, like, no, just be easy, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, these guys know, like, like, you'll see people and it's like, okay, just be cool, but like, be yourself and be friendly, and there's opportunities to connect. And you take advantage of it. But I think that's number one. Just be yourself and be easy, My dad would say, easy, take time, Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So for me, I treat music like it's a job. You come prepared. You know your stuff, right? Because in addition to having a good attitude, right, and having the skill, come prepared. Yeah. Know your stuff. Yeah. Rehearse, right? Because that's how you keep getting, right? We want the reoccurring gigs, right? But also, take the time to find out what musical events are happening in the city, right? There's a lot of jam sessions. Well, there were a lot of jam sessions prior to COVID, but now I believe there's 2 of them. There's one that's called Big Fam Jam that happens every Tuesday in Kensington Market. Starts at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. You can look them up on Instagram, Big Fam Jam, right? And there's another one that happens on Sundays. I believe it's Bitter Broke on Instagram. But yeah, so networking with people, finding out, okay, what kind of jams are out there? Where can I, shed and, learn from other people? Because there's a lot of talented folks in the city. And even if you don't get the gigs, you can at least go to these events and, jam, learn from other people, and build your skills. And SoundCheck.
Yeah, SoundCheck. Yeah, come here too. Yeah, all those things, meeting people, just making a great impression on people. That's the biggest thing. Because, you don't know who you're meeting ever, right? That's been a big thing for me. I've gotten gigs from other people because they referred me. I did a studio session the other day with like a big artist because of someone that I met like 10 years ago or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, oh, yeah, Joanne. Yeah, call him. And it's like, I haven't even spoken to her in so long. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, the impression that you leave on people, and then also like that person is also connected with somebody else who's connecting with somebody else and whatever. And it's all about word of mouth. So really just, be yourself, make a great impression, be willing to learn as well. Like learn the environment, learn, you know what I'm saying, the social aspects of things and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, am I being too much or whatever? And also like kind of like don't give up as well. Like if like say I went to talk to, Desiree and she kind of blew me off or whatever, don't let that discourage you from talking to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like, yeah, you got to be persistent and like, yeah, because you don't know, like maybe she was having a bad day today or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And now you didn't want to talk to anybody else, right? So yeah, just be yourself and talk to lots of people.
Thank you so much. This is great. This is absolutely wonderful. So real quick, another popcorn style question here. So what was your biggest setback? Just like popcorn, and how you overcame it as a musician. It could be at any point in time, biggest setback and how you overcame. Like 10 seconds each.
Okay, so being an instrumental fusion artist, it was very difficult for me to get my music heard on radio in my country. A lot of people don't know that my first radio play was in the United States. It was. It actually took me 6 years to get my music played out here. And I have to shout out G98.7 before they switched to Floor 98.7. They gave me my first radio play back in 2019. And my biggest goal was to get played on CBC radio. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with The Block by CBC. So I decided one day I'm going to submit my song. Normally I get rejected because it's instrumental music or it doesn't fit the programming. I said, I have this song. I would love for it to be played. They emailed me back. They said, oh my God, this sounds amazing, but we don't play instrumental music. Now, the old Desiree would have been like, oh, well, it's just another rejection. Okay, I'm used to it. But the new Desiree said, nope. I responded to the email and I said, that's too bad. Instrumental music is on the rise right now. I hope you find a way to add it to your programming. 2 months later, I go onto Instagram and I get a notification from them. And I'm like, why are they tagging me? Go to the page, I see my picture. We're gonna play your song. So I say that to say, do not give up. Many rejections will lead to success.
Actually, yeah, on that note, I think I don't really have any, there's nothing that I can say that like it didn't go right, because every negative situation that happened, something positive came out of it. I missed one of the biggest gigs in the world. Actually, 2 really large gigs, or missed the opportunity, but it's like, because I wasn't doing that, I was able to do other things. I was able to be with my family. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about, perspective, it's like I would have missed a lot getting a certain gig at a certain time, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing now. So honestly, I can only be grateful, but just learning how to interact with people. I think I've had communication errors, like let's just put it that way, like where, you know, just just like things didn't work out or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and just understanding how to communicate with people. That's probably like one of my biggest things that has happened. But I learned from then, so now I have lots of great interactions.
I think for me, earlier in my career, just doubt. You know what I mean? Because, you know, for me, I didn't have an example of like a musician growing up in my like actual family. And then, you know, sometimes, to Joanne's point earlier, you know, you approach certain people that you look to, you know, seek mentorship, and it doesn't go the way you want to. And for me, I was kind of the opposite of what he was describing. I was like, okay, shut down, you know, and maybe ponder. But I learned a long time ago that, you know, the stick-to-itiveness with regards to what you're doing, it'll pay off. And in the words of the wise Fred VanVleet, you got to bet on yourself sometimes and push the limits, right? And so for me, you know, that clicked for me probably about 6-7 years ago, where I started to push myself and started to learn different styles of music just for the heck of it. And it just allowed me to expand. So I think that was probably a setback earlier. Not a major one, but somewhat of a setback, yeah, for me.
We're almost through. What do you do when you get stuck creatively? Like, you hit a roadblock, slumped, whatever.
Watch anime. I have a bunch still. One Piece, DBZ, My Hero Academia. Oh yeah, man. I'm up to date. During the pandemic, that's one of the biggest things I did. Crush 900 episodes one time. Yes, sir. But yeah, no, and sports. I love sports. So like, I take my mind off of whatever it might be, the creative block, and that kind of inspires me. Yeah, I definitely crushed it. Yeah, sorry. 20 years worth.
Well, that's not how I deal with it. I mean, unfortunately, I'm more of an analytical person, so I'll try to figure out, why am I having writer's block? Quick story, 2018, I almost quit. And I think I was at a point in my career where I was like, I don't know what else I can do, right? And I made a discovery on my computer, because I was using GarageBand at the time. Yeah, and then I realized that I wasn't tapping into all the gifts that I had. So sometimes when you have writer's block, you realize that you're not tapping into everything. And that was my realization. I was always seen as a piano player. And a lot of people don't know I play 15 instruments. 15. And I made that discovery, and that really changed the way I created my music. So sometimes you may have writer's block because you're not using everything that you have in the arsenal. Yep.
For me, it's just walking away, learning it's okay to walk away, and just live regular life. There's so much inspiration from just life itself. I'm fortunate, I'm blessed to have children and a wife, so it's like I can go away and like watch my kid's basketball game or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just kind of like getting away from it and coming back, and then also understanding that sometimes like, you know, having a deadline, it's not gonna happen tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Like, it's just not gonna happen tonight. Let's pack it up. You know what I'm saying? Come back tomorrow. Come back next week. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just learning it's okay. Yeah, it's okay to walk away and just, you know what I'm saying? Just take a breather. You know, just get away from it and come back. Some fresh perspective. You know. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Solid. Are y'all enjoying this discussion? All right, this is wonderful. We're going to get a chance to hear from our live audience if there is any questions that are coming through. So just think about that while I ask this sort of last question here. I know you all talked about having a very strong moral compass, having values. And so this question just says, how do you stay true to yourself? You know, the idea is someone's always in the spotlight. Someone's always trending, right? How do you stay true to yourself? How do you find that niche that is your lane and say, I'm going to stay in it? Does that make sense?
I just turn everything off. Just get off of Facebook, Instagram, whatever, Snapchat, whatever it is. What's the other one? Whatever, TikTok, whatever. Just get off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that stuff just destroys you. You're always comparing yourself, and it just kind of gets you in like a crazy, you know, mindset. So yeah, just stepping away and just learning to be comfortable with who you are. You know, it's gonna take some time, but honestly, like if you get caught up in just comparing yourself all the time, it's just it's not gonna go well for you.
Yeah, well, I was always a fan of being the underdog, and I will always be a fan of being the underdog. Before I even became an artist, my goal was to not sound like everybody else. So I spent that time cultivating and figuring out what kind of sound do I want to have. So you have those moments where you just need to figure out, okay, who is Desiree D? What is Desiree D gonna sound like? So before I even came out, I figured it out. But of course, I'll go and people are like, oh, well, you know, how come your music doesn't sound like this? And why does it not sound like this? I'm like, I don't want to. I want to be a chameleon. Be a chameleon.
Sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
So yeah, the question is, you know, how do you stay true to yourself? How do you know, there's always someone in the spotlight, something always trending. So how do you keep yourself in that?
Just kind of, you know, reflecting on the pillars. Like for me, I come from just a strong, grounding in terms of like how my parents raised me. They always raised us to be just ourselves, and you know this is wrong, you know this is right. You know, my mom, you know, being a church children's church leader, youth leader, you know, she imparted a lot of spiritual stuff into us. So, you know, people say it's common sense, we say it's the Holy Spirit. I tell you, you know what I mean? And so like using that, no, seriously, and I mean, you know, honestly, like, you know, for me, like there's that part, but like I've always just had a true sense of just self. So, you know, everybody's zigging, sometimes I'm just zagging, you know? So everybody's watching, you know, Sailor Moon, I'm watching Naruto, you know? You know, I've been okay with it. Even the way I dress, like, you know, I'm so comfortable just with comfort. You know what I mean? You know, no, I'm serious. Like, I mean, you guys see how I'm dressed: yellow hat, work shoes, khakis. Like, you know, like that's just how I am. Like, you know, so I've always just kind of been comfortable in my own skin, and you know, I just lean in that. I know who I am, And no matter what's going on, if I see this, that looks okay. It's okay though, you know. But if I see a Power Rangers graphic tee, maybe I'll buy it, But that's what it is. Simple.
Super solid. I think this might be my last question before we hear from our audience and then call it. So why, because I know we've been talking a lot about mental health and obviously your careers and how you're navigating and, there's so many different aspects that we've been talking about. But I think this question kind of goes back to some of our roots a little bit. Why do you think mental health is a taboo in the community? And can something be done? Can more conversations like this be had? What's your take on it? I'm just curious. And also, maybe 30 seconds on this.
Try my best. You know what? I think that the reason why mental health is something that's not discussed is because it's generational, right? Our parents didn't know much about it, right? And even just for myself, uncovering generational trauma and trying to have those conversations with them, and they don't want to have the conversation. They want to deflect every single time. But I made the decision that whatever trauma has happened before me will stop with me, and it's not going to continue. And if the older generations don't want to deal with it, I have to just take it upon myself to make sure I deal with it, because I don't want it to continue in the bloodline. Right? And I feel it's so important, especially in the Black community, to have conversations like this. We need to do this more. We do need to do this more, and I hope that more people come out, more musicians, more males come out. I feel like as Black women, we always have to be the strong ones. We always have to be the strong ones. We always have to be the one that's working and healing. And I think that males need the healing as well too, right? And it's giving them that safe space, right? And I think that the more that we do this and the more that we have this safe space, more people are gonna come out. But mental health is generational, and it's gonna call for us to really decide, do we wanna continue this trauma or do we wanna stop it? And I've decided a long time ago that I'm going to be the one to stop it.
Right. Yeah, I think it's definitely nurture nature, nurtured. You know what I'm saying? We need to nurture versus nature. We all need to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? We need to make a choice whether we're going to continue it or stop it. Events like this, we need this. I'm actually working on some stuff as well for men, specifically for men. I'm working on an event as well, and it's we need to do this. We need more people, I guess, in the limelight to bring awareness, right? That's what it takes. It takes people using their platform to say that I'm not okay, and we can talk about stuff. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about the real stuff and having those safe spaces, or creating those safe spaces. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to be created. It's easy as me just dropping my guard and just having a conversation. It's that easy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just what we need to do, more things like this and just normalize it, throughout our community. I'm actually reading a book about it as well right now, which I haven't read a book in a long time. But a book by Jason Wilson, called Battle Cry. And he talks a lot about, he has 2 books, but the one I'm reading, he speaks a lot about that. And it's been really just oh yeah, that's what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's that's what we all need to do. So just normalizing those things that are not so normal.
Piggybacking off of what these guys are saying, I won't lie to you. I've been very fortunate in my life to have that as an opportunity. So my brothers, my blood brothers, my closest friends, my wife, you know what I mean, my parents too. We've always had that dialogue of being able to kind of just go to them and, hey, listen, I'm screwing the puppy right now, man. You know what I mean? Right now it's just I feel like this. You know what I mean? Or I had a really good day, or my dad, just a OG. You know what I mean? Like a real yachty, you know what I mean? And so like you just reason with him, you know what I mean? And so I've always had that. So I've been fortunate to have the experience of that, and so I think that's why it's so beneficial for this. And again, I commend you and the SoundCheck for putting this on. So things like this are what foster that. You know what I mean? So you got to give yourself a pat on the back. Everybody here has got to give themselves a pat on the back in this organization, and us as just people who have been here. Now that we've seen it, now that we kind of witness how this goes, taking a little piece of that to our circles, to our networks, to our communities, and just trying to be the change that you want to see. Right? It's not going to happen in a day. It probably won't happen in a year. You never know, depending on how deep the issues are. But the fact that you're taking that step, you aim high. Sometimes you hit the moon, sometimes you hit the ozone layer, sometimes you hit the clouds, but you're not on the ground. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Powerful stuff. Let's give it up one more time for our panelists, Joanne, Desiree D, Mark Manhertz. Thank you so much. Awesome conversations. I think we have to continue this at some point in time, but really incredible conversations. I just wanted to give our audience, I don't know if we probably have time maybe for 2 questions. Is there anyone in the audience that had a question? Maybe not? Oh, okay, we got one. Yeah, come. So I'll repeat the question in the mic for those who may not have heard it. The question is, are y'all ever gonna collab, or maybe next time? Yeah. Get a next one to come back next year, yeah, or something. We've already collabed on stuff. All right. So they're saying you got to come back next year, and then and that's how we'll get it. So that's great. Is there another question though? Is there anyone else? Okay. If not, so we just have a couple of things just to do. We're going to be closing off. Let's just give it one more time. Hand clap. Thank you to our panelists. So I have some things that I need to give away. And so before I do that, I just want to call up one of our very special board members that's here. So SoundCheck is a nonprofit organization. We do have a member of our board that's actually here today, and just will be sharing some thank yous to everyone for coming out and being a part of the event. I'll let them do that. I'll go grab some prizes. Don't go yet. We got some stuff to give away. So just let's hear some. We're gonna hear some brief remarks. But thank you, our panel, and thank you all. So just calling up Adrian Howard just to come up and give a few special words to our wonderful audience online and in person.
I was told about brief remarks, not special words, so the remarks will be very brief. Thank you very much to the panel. I got a lot from it. Sometimes you don't know what you're saying to people, and thank you very much, Joanne, Desiree, Mark. It's been awesome. I also want to thank all the SoundCheck staff, mentors, participants, people who've performed. I've been here for a long time, 2013, and probably even before when we were thinking about what SoundCheck would be, and I don't get to be here every day. And so when I walk in and every successive event, it always looks better. It always looks more professional. It always looks like, wow, these guys are really stepping it up here. I saw the Square machine where they take card now, and I was like, really? I didn't even know about that. And all that kind of stuff, so it's really great to see. And I always get to sort of walk in and meet new employees, new staff, hey. And, it's just really great to meet everyone. And so with that, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting. If you haven't seen all the donation information, please do go to the SoundCheck website to see it, or speak to one of our staff to figure out how you can support, because like they say, everything here, generally speaking, is free. And this is a great resource. This is, even just a great room to sit in and jam in. And so, take advantage of what's here. It's for you. I consider everyone here community, and so everything here is for you. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. So we're going to just quickly call up. Hang on, actually, Adrian, maybe you can help me here. I'm kind of. Yeah, thank you. So hang on to those bags. So first and foremost, we want to say thank you to all our amazing funders. There's too many to name, but they are on the slides, and so we want you all to check them out. Just to quickly mention a few: the Ontario Trillium Foundation, that's helping to make our programs possible. Also, the government of Canada that invested in this space and helped us to get us to where we are today, this wonderful room that we're in. We want to say thank you to them. We want to say special thanks to Advance Music Collective as well for supporting our work. Special thanks as well to, we want to say a very special thank you to the City of Toronto for investing and supporting our work, our programs that we've been running, as well as the Toronto Arts Council. We want to say thank you to them. And we're going to be running a very special program in the new year all around mental health. So we want to say thank you to the Red Cross for that. And to our point and our themes, we're going to be able to build on some of this groundwork. We talked about building, the building blocks, and so we're so looking forward to that. And of course, all our event sponsors, too many to name, but we want to say a huge thank you to Long and McQuaid. We're going to be giving away some swag packs. We're going to be giving away some other things. We want to say a huge thank you to JC Jerk Express. Is that GC Jerk Express for donating? Did everyone enjoy the food? So we want to say a huge thank you to GC Jerk Express. Check them out right on Weston Road, doing a wonderful, wonderful business and supporting the community. Thank you. Too many to name, but we want to say thank you to all our event sponsors for being a part. We have some care packages as well. So before you go, do make sure that you grab a care package. Check in with our front desk before you leave. Make sure you get your care package. We also have a very brief survey. Y'all don't understand. When you provide your feedback, it helps us. It helps us to be able to do this work. It helps us to be able to show that there is a need, and it helps us to be able to continue to do more things like this. So please, before you run off, do stop by, get your care package, and make sure you fill out that quick survey for us if you can at the back. So we just want to call up, first of all, special thanks to, I did mention Long and McQuaid. We are going to be giving away some amazing gifts. So I want to call all our performers. Are our youth performers still here? Shamar, Tamara, Cheyenne. Are y'all in the building still? Shamar, come on up. Come on up, Shamar. Wasn't he amazing on bass? We heard him on bass featured today, supporting Shan. Come on up. Dondre on the keys. Dondre, I can't even keep up with you these days. Drums, everything. Cheyenne's here. Is Tamara still around? Did she had to run? Okay, we'll get her back. So we want to say a very special thank you, each and every one of you, for all your ongoing support, being part of the program, being part of today. And Long McQuaid is helping us to say thank you to you. And so they've created these really amazing Long McQuaid gift packs. There is a $50 or something, I don't know, some gift card or something in there. So we want to say a thank you to Long and McQuaid for their support and the rest of it. So here, thank you, Adrian. So thank you, Long and McQuaid. All right. And we'll get the rest to the other staff. Yeah, we need a photo of this, right? Let's get in on it. All right, maybe come in. Oh, Vea wants to be in the photo. All right, my youngest.
If you're out,
You come in? All right. All right, she's in the photo with us. That's all right. All right, so we're getting our photo. All right, I think we got it. Perfect, thank you. And so next, the moment we've all been waiting for, I'm going to go and grab that. You've got that name jar here. Thank you. And so I want to bring the keyboard out, but I guess I'll be able to do this. So it is in the building. It is in the premises. But we are going to be giving away a keyboard to one very special in-person attendee. If for y'all that stuck around, thank you. So we're gonna make sure we do that. Adrian, maybe you can help me with this, and let us know who our lucky winner is. You gotta shake it around. And so,
Daniel Genus.
wow, Daniel Genus is the winner. So Daniel, stay right here. We're gonna get a photo with you in a second. I'm gonna go grab it. I'm gonna show the people what they've won. Tonight would not be complete if I've got to shout out my entire team. This work that we do is incredible, but it's not me alone. I've got to give thanks to God, of course, but I also have to give thanks to this incredible team of supporters that I have. So I'm going to start off by just shouting out our Director of Operations, Cheyenne, my beautiful wife. She's in the building. Thank you for all your hard work, helping making tonight a success. Want to say special thanks to Catherine that's here in the building, wearing so many hats, supporting in so many different ways. I want to say a special thanks to Shiloh that's right here in the building. Thank you, Shiloh, for all your incredible work, helping make tonight a success. Our musician mentors that are in the building. Joshua, Devontae, Brian, Adam, thank you. Say it again. Thank you so much for all your incredible support, and of course, all our audience in person, online. Thank you for bearing with us through all the technical hula hoops and everything else, and everything. We're just so thankful, so grateful for all of your support. So, Danny, don't leave. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you all so much. You're very kind. Thank you. And so I'm just really grateful for tonight. Thank you all for being a part. So as I mentioned, do stop by our back table there. If you haven't donated yet, you can do so as well. But definitely pick up your care package before you leave. Want to make sure that gets to you. And also make sure you fill out that survey again. All the attendees, it makes a huge, 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 huge difference. Without any further ado, I'm going to have Shay just come up to say a quick goodbye and hello all in once while I go I'll go grab our keyboard, and we'll do that. All right?
Wow. Hey, everyone. It's been a great night. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you? Awesome. So, you know, the heart behind tonight was really, we did see the need for support in our community as it pertains to mental health. So we really do hope that you will stay connected with us as we continue our campaign. We will actually be launching our instrumental health campaign from as of this week to the end of the year. So if you want to find more ways to be connected and to support the work, please continue to look for us on social media, follow us, share our stuff, and just stay connected because there's more to come. And thank you to the panelists. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. And thank you to our mentors, our staff. The staff, you guys are wonderful, and we could not have done this without everybody just coming together and doing a great job. So thank you, everyone. Joel's going to be coming back shortly. Yeah, probably too heavy. Sing a song. Somebody with a piano. Hey, somebody with a piano. Hey. Woo!
So we want to call up Daniel Genus. Come on up, Danny. So Daniel, you heard our panel tell you that drums is the easiest instrument.
And so I guess it's time to upgrade. Daddy, congratulations. This is yours, my brother. Congrats to you. Show the peoples. I heard it's a MIDI keyboard as well, brother. So yeah, man, production, everything. ready to go. So Danny, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Yes, you already know, brother. You already know. Already know. All right. So let's get a photo. Just a photo here, Danny, if you don't mind. Awesome. Thank you to Longo McQuaid for this wonderful gift. Perfect. Awesome. So thank you all. So anyway, without any further ado, grab some food, stop by our table, do some donate. Yep.
Sorry, I wanted to shout out Roses and Candles. This wonderful Black-owned business. They actually donated the gifts that are in our care packages. So I did want to shout her out. She's very sweet. She really took a liking to us and donated all these wonderful, beautiful, smelling candles. So please don't leave without getting your blue gift bag, and let us know how they smell and give a review and all that. And yeah, and also as Joel mentioned, we really want to shout out GC Express Jerk and Colin and his team. They did a really great work by donating the food items, so we're really appreciative of that. Also, Superstore also donated, and Fortinos did as well. We want to thank them for being so community-minded and giving to our work.
Thank you so much. So without any further ado, folks, I think I've got my cue. We're going to end our live stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking part. Do stop by our table and check out. But thank you. Appreciate you all. Oh, I'm so sorry. On the sound, I got to shout out Cordell behind the curtain. Holding it down for us. Thank you, Cordell. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And, of course, our amazing panelists. Thank you all. Take care, everybody.